Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Collapse Experiment, where I discuss the current state of the collapse. That's what I do. That's what you do when you don't have a life. But I digress. Things are looking good. I woke up this morning. I have coffee, waiting for that to cool. Let's get to the news, shall we? So, the Pentagon, those very trustworthy people, they're saying that there's a very high chance, a likelihood that Putin will nuke Ukraine. He will have a nuclear strike on Ukraine, and man, that's one horse I wish they would stop beating. It's been dead for a while. It's been that horse has been dead for a long time, and at this point, I'm curious, like why the Pentagon, of all places, thinks that anyone in the world would trust what they're saying. I don't know. I think they're a bit delusional. Maybe they haven't been listening to what their therapists have been saying, but for some reason they keep mumbling and uttering the same thing. I'm pretty sure the people who run this place, their mother never read them The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I think that's what it comes down to. So while we have the Pentagon spewing this nonsense, there are countries within Europe, the EU, that are preparing for something like this. Sure, the Pentagon can sit back and say, well, we think this is going to happen, but then Europe has to actually worry about it happening. So they're taking steps to supply old Cold War bunkers that never were decommissioned. They're buying gas masks, potassium iodine, MREs, any type of long-term food storage. So Europe, maybe they don't have their head in the sand like other places, but they seem to be taking this very seriously. Although I highly doubt that it has anything to do with anything that came out of the Pentagon. I think they've learned their lesson with that. The other weird bit of information that came out is the confirmation that yes, the U.S. is funding and operating bioweapons labs in a foreign country that happens to be on the border of Russia. Nothing could go wrong. Oh yeah, and then there's the papers that the website was deleted, but fortunately some people kept screenshots and files of what was on that website, and it was Obama funding Ukraine and opening bioweapons labs for highly infectious and deadly diseases. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, now Fauci doesn't look so guilty, does he? Yeah, you made it illegal in the U.S., then you go to countries like Ukraine and say, hey, would you like to operate these things that I just made it illegal to have in our own country? That'd be awesome. Thanks. And then Fauci's like, why Ukraine? Why not just go to China? Huh? Yeah, so Fauci filters money over to China to get his stuff worked out over there, and it may not sound like that big of a deal. You could look back at COVID and go, it really wasn't that bad. I got it, so-and-so got it. He just coughed for a while, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people died, but come to find out that had more to do with the lack of treatment options thanks to the CDC and certain government policies. That's coming out. Maybe we should be talking about the Pfizer papers. You know what? I'm going to save that for another video. I'm going to continue on with the latest news because I don't want to go off the side road here. But yeah, so bioweapons labs. And along with that knowledge, now the government, this reminds me of Iraq all over again. The government is saying that they think Russia is trying to capture these bioweapons labs so that they can release the pathogens that are in there and use that to attack Ukraine. Do they not understand how a virus works? I think Russia is smart enough to know that if they released a virus, a deadly virus, from a lab in Ukraine, with the migration of immigrants going into other countries and then flying to other countries, that eventually they would get this disease and it would affect them too. We didn't see that with anything in particular for the last 2 years at all. No, I mean, they called it the Wuhan flu for a reason, the China virus. I mean, it never went anywhere else. So there's two speculations as to why they're doing this. One is that they want to use the bioweapons labs as an excuse to have a no-fly zone over Ukraine. I don't know how well that's going to go over. The other speculation is that the U.S. and Ukrainians are just going to release the shit anyways because we're fucking psychos. And, yeah, you know, if we release the virus first and then say that Russia did it, more people would be on our side, having just gone through a pandemic, and go, how could Russia be that stupid? Why would they do something like that? I mean, it's not like Putin's taking phone calls from anyone besides Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Yeah. Eh. Do you realize that these labs probably, I mean, there's only 2 countries on the planet that have smallpox in a lab: the US and Russia. And I just would not be surprised if Obama, whoever was in charge when these labs opened, might have said, like, would you like to tinker around with smallpox? You know, like, what could go wrong? Whether it is the release of a virus or, heaven forbid, nuclear war. Oh, yeah, that brings me to another thing. There was speculation that Russia had used a thermoburst bomb in Ukraine, something that had never been used during wartime before. It's a bomb that detonates and sucks up all the oxygen in the area, and it creates like this vacuum. And yeah, if you're not familiar with the bombing of Dresden, you may want to look into that one, because we burned the shit out of that city to the point where people were coming out of their basements and bunkers and would suffocate in the middle of the street because there was no air. There was no oxygen. They couldn't breathe. And that's pretty much what this thing is designed to do. And Russia has come out and admitted, like, yeah, we used it, so what? And it just goes to show, well, for one, I mean, we really like tinkering around with different things and then trying it out on civilian populations in Afghanistan and Iraq. Nothing we haven't done, you know, but we're privileged. We have the right to do stuff like that to the civilians of foreign countries. how dare Russia take away our privilege? Who the fuck do they think they are? They only have two pronouns. Oh, so that's about it. The weird thing is, commodities are, they went up, and you know, even after the isn't an embargo, after the banning of Russian oil in the U.S., somehow oil stabilized. I don't get that. It went from 130 down to like 119. So we're back in the 120 area for oil. Um, Gold, last I saw, was back under $2,000 an ounce. Oh man, what else did I see? Yeah, it's I don't know how, I don't know why, but for some reason the stock market is liking everything that's going on. I just wouldn't be surprised if the top selling stocks for Congress got switched from Pfizer to, I don't know, McDonnell Douglas or who knows. Uh, Whoever builds like all the weapons of mass destruction, I'm pretty sure that stock got bought up really quick. Wonder why. Um, yeah. Next video, I think I'll get to those Pfizer papers because some shit's going down and nobody's talking about it. In the meantime, keep on typing.